Welcome, everybody. It's Friday. TGIF. We're welcoming you from Morocco. Hang on, let me just make sure this is clear. There, that's a little better. And so, welcome, everyone. We've got a great subject outlined for you. And Morocco's been very interesting. I have to be honest and say I didn't really like it when I first got here. I was still processing a lot of energies from this retreat that I'd been on for a week. And so it was a lot. It was a lot to adjust to. But the energies have really shifted here. And for those of you who get my newsletter every week, I shared in there some very fascinating things about how the energy shifted. And I know maybe you guys want to hear about it. It was very interesting. Welcome, everybody. Let me just see who we got here. We've got a full house. We have Utah. Welcome, Joellen. We have is that Wisconsin? Yes. And North Carolina. And we have um, Colorado. Sonoma. Welcome, Bobby. And I know there's a bunch more on here. Just haven't let us know where you are calling in from. And thank you for coming and joining us, India. So when I first got here, I'll have to tell you a little bit about this story because it does relate to what we're talking about today. From the Yukon. Yes, great to have you here. And Belgium. Good. And Texas. People are coming in fast now. So I do want to share what did happen when I got here because this is all relevant to what we're going to be talking about today, which is all about the subject of anger. And of course, anger is a very broad subject, so we are going to narrow it down. But so I will share what happened when I got here to Morocco. So I was processing a lot of deep stuff from this retreat I had been on. We'd been digging deep into the shadows, and I'd found some energies that related to things I thought I had already cleared that related to having grown up as a Jehovah's Witness. There was a deep belief that the world was against me. Now, of course, that is a very foundational piece of Jehovah's Witnesses is that we are in opposition to everybody outside of that religion. So I had no idea that that belief was still there. So that was something that was cleared out. And also some other stuff. And so when I left there, what ends up happening when you've gone deep in a retreat like that, where you've been really, really expanded, and then you start to contract. And when you leave, because that's just all how the process of things work, and also energies that are now coming up for review and for clearing. And it was all about anger that I didn't know I had this deep subconscious anger down in the trenches. And so on the way over here on the plane, I was actually crying under my little scarf so nobody could see. And because it was all coming up, and I certainly don't want to push anything down anymore. So it was coming up. And so then when I got to Morocco, I was just annoyed about a lot of the things that were just really annoying that maybe wouldn't be otherwise, but they were. And then when I finally got to the square, that the main square in Marrakesh, the energies there were so intense, and the prayers that were coming over the loudspeaker were like acid to my ears, and those snake charmers playing that really kind of annoying horn. It was like, nails on a chalkboard. It was just so annoying. And then more waves of this stuff coming up. So I went back and processed in my Riyadh, which is what they call a place where you're staying. And the next morning, I woke up and there was a light rain. And it hasn't rained here in Morocco all month. And it's like they're having water problems because it hasn't been raining. So because of all the work that I've done in Egypt and in Rome with Christoph Melchizedek and his team, I know that when energies get transmuted, especially antimatter, which is anything that's this opposite of light, uh, which is what a lot of these angry energies were that I was clearing, that it can show up in the energy of rain. And so it wasn't a surprise to me that this was happening, but uh, at the same time, it was like a pleasant surprise. So I started checking in because I could see that there was a big shift energetically in the people in Morocco. Their crowns, the rings above their crowns had gone from two, they all had like about just two rings, two creative rings. And now the men had five, the women had 10. And you could feel the energy was different. And so I decided to go work on the big tower where the mosque is and notice the energy there. But I did something a little different this time, is that instead of like working on the energies, I just held the vibration of love in my heart. And I kind of said hello to the energies. I could see that there was a lot of angry energy in the hearts of, if you want to call it, of this tower, and very few crowns, especially in the men who were saying the prayers as well. And so I just held this energy and just waited and watched as things just kept shifting and more people getting more rings. It just kept amplifying. And I thought, wow, this is a very ingenious idea that Spirit has put me here to help with this frequency with the people who are sending a broadcast with these prayers, and that's where the frequency is changing, and then they start sending out a completely new broadcast. So it's been everything has changed as far as how I feel here, and much more joyful, and the people are very pleasant, and it's been actually a very amazing experience. Now it's actually been a lot of fun. So this energy of anger, and I've said this before in the past, that anger is a very powerful energy, and I'm certainly not making anger wrong. It has its place. It has its place where you can use this energy to actually move mountains. You can make amazing thing happens. You can make amazing things happen with this powerful energy if you direct it in the way that you're going, and you use this powerful energy to help move things. But unfortunately, what I've seen over many, many years is that too many people are using anger as their default energy, the energy that they use to fuel themselves, to get themselves motivated, to get things done as a general rule. And, if it's not working out, then they use that anger against themselves. They beat themselves up, making themselves wrong. And so that kind of motivation is certainly not sustainable, and it's very hard on the nervous system. So that's why I've been such an advocate for finding the energies that are causing this angry energy in your energy field, because most of the time, probably 90 or more percent of the time, it's not even your energy. And so when we can find the sources of this angry energy and remove it, then by default, we go back to stasis and we start to feel more like ourselves again. So there's that aspect of anger. And then there's the anger that's a little deeper in the shadows, a little deeper in the shadows that we might not even know is there. But one thing you can be certain is that when you're out in the world and you come up against an angry situation, angry people, just know that they are reflecting back to you an energy that already exists here. Once you can embrace this paradigm of how energies work, then you can start taking more accountability and more responsibility for what you create. Instead of making yourself wrong, it's like, oh, wow, bumping into a lot of angry people today. There must be something in here instead of the world sucks and everybody is mean, everybody's against me, that they're trying to show you something in here that wants some healing, that wants to come up for review and to send some light and embrace these energies. And the more that we can send love to these deeper wounds and deeper angry energy, the more we can love these energies that are deep within us, it just transmutes, it just dissolves. And so that's been the really fascinating thing that I've been discovering that's new to me and for me about anger. So I'm wondering if you guys are resonating with what I'm talking about. Do you struggle with feeling frustrated, annoyed, um, irritated at the world around you, and but you think it's all out there? And that's a very, very common belief. Let me take some water here while you guys are letting me know. All right. We also have, let me have my glasses here. We also have New York and Oahu. Great, Hawaii. Good to see you here. We have another Utah person. And Jalpa from India. Great to have you here, Jalpa. And Slovenia. Great, Barbara. Nice to have you here. So just curious if you guys are resonating with this and want to know an easier way of dealing with these angry energies. Okay, great. Thank you for your comments. So Yukon from the Yukon, I resonate, realized I had a lot if I acknowledged anger in me during a meditation last week. That's excellent. Thank you for sharing that. And then Maria says, I've been very angry at my parents these last few days because of recovered memories of sexual abuse. Yes, that can be very infuriating and powerless and helps you get to those dark mother wounds. Like, why did she not protect you? And if it was your father, wow, that's a very big, dark father wound that needs some healing. And then, of course, yes to frustration at them and the world. Yes. Thank you for that honesty. And Melinda, yes, I woke up with angry thoughts about injustice. Yes, it's everywhere. And Allie, yes, I had lots of anger in the beginning of COVID and throughout the year. Yes, yes, yes. And I'm glad you're enjoying this. Acknowledged. Okay, unacknowledged. Okay, no worries. You gone? We have. Great to see you, Tammy. Anger. I resonate with. Where did it go? I resonate with Kendra's mom. Yes. Feels like an attack. It does, doesn't it? It feels like the forces are against us. And just know that, as there is a higher frequency on the planet, more light is being revealed, the darkness has no place left to run. And so that's the beauty of all this, is that there's no longer this war of us and them. That's part of this old paradigm, right, of duality. And so the more that we can start to embrace the darkness and direct love to this energies, there's no us and them, because that is part of us, that we're all part of the same soup. And so that's the beauty of this, is that we can start sending love and light to these darker energies. And there was a really great exercise we did over this past week that I'll share with you. And this was dealing with people that we come up against that are very angry. And so oftentimes we start to get in that, kind of tug of war and that kind of battle, and we're kind of bumping up against that ready to fight energy, ready for the attack. And so, one of the things that was suggested is that, first of all, you acknowledge their energy, and you're not saying this out loud, you're just doing this internally, and they don't have to know anything about what you're doing in here, is to acknowledge their energy with an energy that says, there's no contest here, there's no competition, there's no fight. And then you just watch the energy as you're sending them love. You just keep sending them love, and you just watch their whole demeanor start to relax and calm down. I even noticed that today when we were shopping in the what's it called? It starts with a M. What? Medina? The Medina, yes. The Medina, which is the big, all the streets that have all the things that you can shop at. And so sometimes they can get a little pushy. And so there was, and they don't like you, or sometimes if you take pictures, then they want some money for that. And so there was this little bit of a battle. And so just, sending them love, it's like, shukron, we're sorry, apologizing, thank you. And just sending them lots of love, and then just watch them kind of like, calm down. It's pretty amazing. So let's see what else you guys have to say. Hello from California. Feels like a lot of anger floating around all around. Yes. Um, my boyfriend sees so much frustration in the world, and he tells me all the time, yes, everybody's a little frustrated because they don't know what to do with it all. Um, I'm glad you appreciate this, Maria. Yes, this is my contribution to humanity, to come here every week and to share new things that I'm learning in my world of energy, and to see how we keep expanding and growing with this infinity system, and how we can use it to apply it to our lives and our energy fields so that we can enjoy life more. Like, life is meant to be enjoyed, and to have pleasant interactions with people instead of always feeling like we're on the defense. So what we're going to do today is we're going to measure this angry energy. We're going to see what's kind of in your energy field that might be contributing to that, and eliminate that. But then we're also going to start feeling into this love energy, because some of you might not even like be very familiar with it. It might feel a little foreign to you to feel love in your energy field when you're usually a little on edge, frustrated, annoyed, and just kind of, uh, you wouldn't call yourself angry, but you would say that you're frustrated and annoyed, right? So let's measure the anger so we can see where you guys are on this scale. So, as I measure the energy of anger right now for all of you who are on the call, and this actually also applies to those of you who are listening out into the future as a recording, your energy field is all included in this. There's no time and space, and that's another conversation. But so let's measure the energy of anger right now. See, it's only at 50%. So that is that kind of energy where you don't feel angry, but you feel kind of on edge, a little annoyed, a little frustrated at stuff. You're kind of judgmental with yourself and others easily, and it's kind of that little buzzy kind of feeling in your energy field. So when that gets to zero, the whole nervous system can calm down. Our adrenals can get a break. Our amygdala, it turns off the alarm that everything's okay. So let's find where some of this is, and you guys can all start to feel a little bit calmer. And sticking with the topic, let me just go back a minute to the topic that we're talking about too, which is eliminating versus transmuting. That's what it was. So they're both. It's like it's not either or, it's both and. So there is part of this angry energy that we do eliminate, and then there's other parts of anger that we transmute. So it is a little bit of both and. So let's see what another comment here. Just curious. Um, I've been in Morocco. It was the worst moment of my life when my anger got triggered to take me back to those memories. Yeah, so you were matching the angry energy that is here. So when I came here, I noticed that the Moroccan people are generally, uh, as I checked all of the ones that I checked, were at 100% anger, but they didn't know it because they weren't in their bodies. They're only in their bodies anywhere from 3 to 15%. Snake Charmer wasn't even in his body at all and didn't have any rings. So it's hard. I didn't even know people could function with no rings and not in their body. I thought you were dead when that happens. But that just shows you how, like, on autopilot they used to be. They were, and so now this is all shifting, which is actually very cool. How do we take on their energy? How do we not take on their energy? Um, so um, Okay, so that's actually, there's multiple layers to that question, because sometimes it's not so much that we're taking on their energy, but if we're getting triggered by somebody else's angry energy, chances are we have the same anger in here. Otherwise, we wouldn't be affected by it. So it's less about that we're taking on somebody's angry energy and more that, oh, the mirror just showed up and look, look how angry I am and I didn't even know it. Because maybe you're not in your body all the way and you're not aware of the angry energy that's going on. So we have 50% anger. Let's check and see how present you are in your bodies. Okay, that's a big answer right there. So only 15%. I see this all the time. And it's really important that if we're going to be more conscious, and many of you show up here because you want to improve your intuitive abilities, you want to be able to know, when somebody's climbed in your space, you want to know when somebody's courting to you, you want to know certain things. But if you're not fully occupying your body, you won't know, because the answers are trying to come in, but you're not fully present to receive the information. So we're going to bring you back into your body so you can feel 100% available and present and calmer. Like, that's a great remedy right there, right? All right, so let's see. So we're going to walk you through the process of running your energy. We do that every week here, so that you can learn how to do this process that's outlined in my book, Access Your Ultimate Power: The Blueprint to Infinite Intelligence. And it's available on Amazon. And so this book, and by the way, here's another some good news, is that I'm already in communication with a new publisher so that we can start getting the ball moving with getting a new updated version of Running Your Energy, because it's a living system and more parts have grown and evolved. And so that's why it's great and important that you're showing up here every week, or at least listening to the recordings, because then you're getting the most up-to-date version. The book is actually a little bit outdated, but it has all the foundation. It has the foundation that you need to even add all these other parts. So let's go ahead and get started with this process of running your energy so that you can start feeling more present and more joyful in your bodies. All right, so we're going to first put down a grounding cord from the base of your spine all the way to the center of the planet and make it big like a pipe, so it can accommodate all the energies that are floating around. So, okay, so now you're grounded. Oftentimes, one of the reasons you're leaving your body is because you have all these uncomfortable energies in your energy field, like anger or fear. Okay, that's the one that's really kicking you out. So there's a lot of fear in your energy field. It's at 100%. So that's no fun. So we're going to eliminate that as well. We're going to do those three things, and then I'm going to have you do a little something at the end so you can feel more of this heart energy. Okay, so we have our grounding cord. Then you're going to send roots down from the bottoms of your feet. And we're actually, here's one new thing that we're going to start doing. We are going to, so we've got those roots down, going down from the bottoms of our feet deep into the earth, right? And it wraps around the entire planet. That's an important piece. But we're going to back up a little bit. And we're actually going to start grounding our feet from our sacrum, which is where we're going to start grounding from our sacrum, which is like that triangle shaped bone at the base of your spine, and then you have your tailbone. So from the sacrum, there's 5 bones there that are fused. We're going to start grounding our legs because the legs branch off of the sacrum and all the nerves and everything. We're going to start grounding the legs from there. So this is the first time we're doing this. This is new, another new updated thing that we're doing, that Spirit is directing. So we're grounding those legs deep into the earth with those roots going from the bottoms of our feet. And see, Spirit is getting us used to certain things and then adding new parts as we're getting ready for the next level, next step. So this way we can be ultra grounded. Okay, so now we've got those roots deep in the earth. We're going to start bringing the energy of our abundant feminine earth up through the feet, the ankles. So we've got going down and coming up now. So we're bringing the earth energy up through the legs, through the knees and the thighs. And then when it gets to the top of our grounding, or the top of the legs there, we're going to go down the grounding cord. So you have a loop of energy up the legs and down the grounding, while the legs are also being grounded down from the sacrum. Okay. I know for some of you, some illustrations are going to be needed for this, right? But just trust that you know how to do this already. I'm just helping you remember things you already know. Okay, so now we're ultra grounded. Let's see if we have a worry circle. Yes, out to the second layer where there's some fear and rage. We're going to pull that circle in and just dump all that energy down the grounding cord. There we go. So there's none of the energies that we've been previously talking about here today, which I think is a great advance. When we came back from Egypt, all of the fear entities and control beings and all of that disappeared. And then the control beings kind of came back for a while. But right now, there's nothing. There's no control beings. There's no fear entities. There's no Draco energy. There's no discarnate beings. So this is you eliminating the anger that's just been floating around in your energy field. So that's great. Okay, good. So the next part of getting ultra grounded is we're going to ground our hearts. The heart's 100% open. You guys all have really big open hearts, but it's not grounded. So it doesn't feel safe to be grounded. But we are going to go down to the root chakra to clear the energy that's not allowing the hearts to get grounded. We're going to go out to the third layer. I'm just going to pull, there is some fear there. So tap into the fears that you've been experiencing, the thoughts that you've been thinking about that have been making you afraid. We're just going to dump all that down the grounding cord. Yeah, because there's none of those other energies. This is just all your stuff. Okay, great. So now, the heart is still not grounded. Okay, so here's the first control being we're finding. Okay, in the heart, we're going to use a black flame in the heart. And that's going to just transmute that frequency that's attached there. Okay, great job. So now the heart just got grounded just by clearing that energy. Okay, great. And then last but not least, we're going to women ground their ovaries. For both ovaries, draw a Y, a line of energy from each ovary into the grounding cord. So you can drain the energy that collects there. And then the men are going to draw a Y from the prostate and testicles into that grounding cord so that can get really grounded. There we go. Next, we're going to start bringing pure source. I'm going to connect way up high to pure source. And we're going to start bringing that energy down through our creative rings, stacked above the head. Great. 7, 6, 5, 4. Great. Comes all the way down, but stopping at the back of the heart, out to that third layer, where there's some judgments. Like maybe you've been beating yourself up, and that's that angry habit. So we're going to let go of this habit and the anger that's holding it in place. There is a control being there, about 5. Let's use a black flame. Okay, great. So now as we're bringing pure source down through the heart, there it goes, solar plexus, second chakra, spilling down the root. Excellent. So now let's mix those two energies together. The earth energy, pure source, we're going to bring it up the front, real close to the spine. It's stopping right at that second chakra where there's some fear and rage, the two energies we're working on today. And it's none of those external forces. So we're just going to collect up your anger and your fears and just drop it down the grounding cord. Just let it all go. It can get transmuted to a different energy when it gets down to the center of the earth. Very high vibration in the center of the earth. Okay, great. Does that feel better already? Okay, so we're bringing this 50-50 mixture up through the second and the third. So it's stopping at the solar plexus, out to that third layer. That's like a stop sign. And this energy will make you feel tired. It will make you feel unmotivated, hard to get stuff done. So we're just pulling this energy in. There is a control being here, so use a black flame. And we're just going to, there we go. Nice. And you just drop all that down the grounding cord. Okay, let's continue to bring that 50-50 up through the solar plexus, heart, throat, 6 crown rings, and then all the layers of your aura. Wow, aura is clear. Doesn't that feel great? Okay, and then last, we're going to clear our circle of reciprocity. So we're going to go back to our hearts, and you're going to bring the energy out your right arm, that masculine, giving, implementing energy. Great, just keep bringing that energy out. It's kind of slow, and so it's actually stopping at the elbow. So another control being, use a black flame right in that right elbow. Okay, there you go. Okay, good. So bringing that out that right arm, there. And then you put your fingertips together so it comes through the palms and through the fingertips. And then it comes into your left receiving hand. So it's also blocked right there. Use a black flame right in that left hand so you can start receiving. And more control beings in the left hand. So use a black flame and let that just transmute that energy that's blocking you from receiving. Okay, good. There. So now it's coming up that left hand, elbow, shoulder, through the front and back of the heart. So there's your circle. Simultaneously through the throat, through the sixth chakra, through the crown, through all of your rings. Excellent. Whew. Okay, so let's remeasure a few things. So one, we're going to remeasure the energy of anger. It's down to 15%, but we want it to be 0. We're going to go up to the sixth chakra where you're holding some of those beliefs that you're angry about, things that you might be angry about. Goes out to the third layer. So part of what's holding that anger in place is the belief that you're powerless, that you can't do anything about what you see going on in the world, etc. So this is the big game that they have us in, where they keep pulling us outward so that we're angry about all the things out there. And so the greatest, if you want to call it a defense for that, the greatest way to counterbalance that is to stop with all of the distractions outside, the news, angry people. Maybe could be even family that's like, ugh. People, maybe you start needing disconnecting from some of these angry energies and things that are triggering you, and start going inward. Start going inward. This is where we focus. And then our outer world begins to change. Like when I did that thing, when I came here to Marrakesh, and I went inward, I didn't make everybody here in Morocco wrong because they're angry and they're whatever. No, I went inward and said, wow, what's going on in here that's attracting all of this? So this is how the world works, in case you haven't figured that out yet. So we go inward, we find the angry energy, we release it in ourselves, and then just watch how your world starts to change around you. Your family starts being nicer, your coworkers, the people in the subway, people walking down the street. It's amazing. All right, so the anger is now at 0. Let's check fear. That's also at 15%, but we want it to be 0. We're going to go to the root chakra, out to the second layer, where let me see what the fears are. So hang on just a second. One is a fear of the unknown. Fear of the unknown. People don't like surprises, right? They don't want to get blindsided. Their nervous system has already been on edge for so long. It's like they can't take one more thing. So fear of the unknown is one. And here's another one. Fear of not being able to do enough. So this is the big shift that's starting to change. Is we're going from doing and fighting and all this outer energy, and we're moving more into that state of just being in this energy of no anger, no fear, and amplifying the energies of love. So let's see where the fear is now. Okay, fear's at 0, anger's at 0. And let's see if you're back at your bodies now. 100% back in your bodies. Now, I really like to get some input from how that feels different than maybe when you first got on the call. Are you feeling more present? Do you feel less agitated and annoyed? Are you finding that maybe you're not quite as that inner critic has kind of calmed down? I'd like to hear some of your input about that. So while you're doing that, we're going to move on to this final stage where we're going to start amplifying this energy of love. And so we haven't done the final piece with the circle of reciprocity, right? So there's a new piece. If you haven't been on in a while, this will be new to you. Feels like I am here. Yay. You are here. Thanks for telling us, Rinky. And here's someone else who says they feel like they have peace, the energy of peace. Yeah, so peace of mind, peaceful in your body, calm. Yes, thank you for sharing that. So this final piece with the circle of reciprocity is that we're going to go to our heart chakras. And we're going to start amplifying that energy, amplifying, making it a little bigger, a little more sparkly, a little warmer, glowing, and just feel it kind of pushing up against inside your bodies. Like fill all the cells in your body with this love energy. Don't let it come out yet. Let it push up against the inside of your skin. And while it's filling your whole body with this energy of love, filling your whole torso with this warm energy, make it come out to your fingertips, but it's still inside your skin. Fill your head with this loving energy. Let it go all the way down your legs to the tip of your toes. And just feel how soft and warm and nurturing that energy feels. Doesn't it feel good? So the next thing that we're going to do is while this energy is filling our bodies, we're going to allow that energy to come out both arms, out both hands. And I want you to direct this loving energy to somebody else who needs it. Maybe it's one person, maybe it's a group of people, maybe it's people that have been in a big tragedy. I haven't been watching the news, but maybe there's a big tragedy that's happening on the planet right now. And you can send that loving energy there. Yeah, there we go. Great job. So just notice maybe how that affects you internally. Feels good to be able to send that love to somewhere that needs it. And then the last part of this is we're going to allow love that's out here in the pool of the planet Earth to start coming back and filling us up so that we're always giving and receiving this loving energy. It's like a big toroidal field, right? Comes out, comes in, circulates in the heart, and circulates through our entire toroidal energy field, tube torus, right? Wow. Okay, that feels great. You feel cleaner or clearer. Okay, great. Thanks, Allison. Allie. And here's another one. It says, my heart feels more open and calm. Great. Yes, that's kind of like the whole point of all of this. I feel great. Love more. Great. That's the whole idea. So thank you guys for coming here today and sharing all this with me, and feel like crying. Yes, those are actually like tears of joy, and can also be tears of feeling what you may have been missing. A lot of us did not grow. In fact, that actually makes me a little emotional. We didn't grow up with this nurturing energy. It's for some of us, it's not so much what was done to us, it was what wasn't done to us, like what we didn't receive. We didn't get filled up and nurtured with this loving energy. But the very best news is that we don't have to go out there to find it. We can fill ourselves up with this self-generated love. This loving feeling that you have, you created that. You created that in here. And so now you can nurture yourself, you can love yourself. And so many of us, just didn't get that loving energy. I can speak for myself very deeply about that one. So thank you all for coming. And Jalpa, was a beautiful sharing, Kimberly, of your experience and such a powerful clearing. Thank you. You're so welcome, Jalpa, and all of you for showing up every week here. It gives me a purpose. It makes what I do feel like I have a purpose for being here on the planet and serving. And so this is me being in service to all of you. So I appreciate all of that. And what do I want to say? What else do I want to say? We have one more comment. Thank you. So glad to see you again. Yes, Inga, great to see you as well. And so just a few things, Reiki. Actually, we're not doing individual checks, Reiki. But so I did want to share, and you can have him re-listen to this whole recording and he'll get a clearing of his anger. Goddess Tara, saw her in the clearing, in today's clearing. Great. And thank you so much. I feel more grounded and centered. Love and appreciate you. Sending you lots of love and light. Thank you. I appreciate that. It's well received. So I just want to share a couple of things that are coming down the pike. So we have just finished our 18-day program, and we do this every other month. Well, we didn't just finish. We finished the beginning of February. And so our next 18-day program is going to be starting March 10th through April 4th. And it is going to be bringing us through the spring equinox. And so the theme of this next 18 days is called, or has to do with, launching our rockets of desire. So it's a perfect theme for spring. A lot of us have been maybe trying things out and trying on different business, implementing different things. And maybe we're really ready to get something grounded. You have a project or something you want to really launch. And so that's what we're going to be doing this next 18 days. So bring your own project that you're working on, that you're ready to launch or almost launch. And we meditate. We do this practice every day for 18 days, but for 20 minutes. We just do 20 minutes a day. We take the weekends off. And so every day is cumulative, and we just go deeper and deeper. So that's just sort of a heads up of what's coming down the pike. We don't have a link for you, but pay attention so that when it comes out, you can be ready. We have a beginning group, a foundational group that meets just in the morning, and then an advanced group that meets morning and evening. So you'll decide what is best for you. And if you need help deciding, we can help you with that. So anyway, I hope you're going to take all this loving energy out into the weekend and spread the love and spread the joy. And that's what we're going to do this weekend. So we're headed off to some beautiful waterfalls tomorrow. And then we're going to be heading out to the Sahara Desert and experiencing that with camel rides and all kinds of sand dunes, and we'll see. Roma's got the best of plans laid out, so I'm excited to see what she's cooked up. She's a great manifester, by the way. She has manifested this beautiful place we're staying in. It's amazing. Anyway, you're so welcome, all of you, for coming every week, and I look forward to seeing you next week, where we will still be in Morocco. I believe we'll still be in Morocco, correct? Yeah, we'll still be in Morocco. Okay, great. So have a great weekend, and sending so much love to all of you. Namaste.